Welcome, everyone. My name is Dave Meyer with Google and the Grow with Google program. Super excited to have you here with us today. And this is an encore presentation of what we talked about yesterday in Oshkosh, reach customers online with Google. We had a few folks ask if we could dive a little deeper into the program. And of course, we went through that program very, very quickly. And I know that with the upcoming and impending weather that we're all now experiencing now, a bunch of folks didn't get a chance to attend yesterday's event. So this is the nuts and bolts of how to reach customers with Google's products and services, as well as a smattering of details and tips to help you market your business smarter and better than ever. Again, I am Dave Meyer, and so I want to just quickly share how you can see and ask content inside of here. So if you do have a specific question, the event yesterday was full of fantastic questions, and that's one of the reasons we didn't get all the way through the Reach Customers Online with Google program. So again, go ahead and simply click down here. See where it says Busy Web in my screen share, or in my shared screen right here. There's a little thing, should have your icon and your information. You can ask questions via the Say Something. And if I could ask, if you are logged in, to go ahead and give me some information about who you are and where you're dialing in from. So let's continue on, and we'll keep trucking. So thanks again, and let's go and grow with Google. All right, here we are. And so let's begin. First, Grow with Google is an initiative to help people prepare for work, find jobs, and grow their businesses. Small businesses through Google My Business and the Grow with Google program can learn how to grow their online presence and improve customer loyalty. Job seekers can grow presentation and communication skills, and educators can learn how to use technology and inspire students. Here's a video that I want to share as an example of micro moments in your world.
This is what? Yeah, people ask this all the time, how do I get into it?
So how many of you could identify with some of the moments in that video? I know I absolutely could. The thing with our digital lives today is that we're all presented with millions of little micro moments that happen without us even really thinking about it. You identify a specific need, you grab your phone or your device, and you have that information at your fingertips. Our job as business owners is to think about what those micro moments that serve our customers' needs are, and to meet them where they expect that information to be. If, for example, in the birthday cake example, you might want to have on your website emergency birthday replacement cakes, or whatever that is for your business. And so you need to really focus on what your customers need at the moment and what they're going to be searching for at that moment to find your business. Today's session covers three big things that you can do right now to market your business and connect with customers online. In the first section, reach local customers with Google My Business, we're going to go high level and rather quickly through how to connect with local searchers using Google My Business, which is a free tool business profile on Google that can help your business appear on Google Search and Maps. In the second section, reach everyone on all devices, we're going to go deeper and talk about how you can optimize your website to make sure that it shows up in organic search results or when people simply type your business or your keywords on Google. This is not going to be a magic formula, and there really is no guaranteed way to get your business to #1 on Google, but we're going to show you how to stack the odds in your favor by being as useful as possible to the people that are searching for your business. And finally, we're also going to help you reach customers with online advertising. I'm going to show you how to promote your products and services on Google and partner websites so that your information shows up to exactly the right people at exactly the right time to close more business. So let's get started with, for the folks that were in person with me yesterday, reach local customers with Google My Business. This is going to be a little bit remedial for you, but it's only a few slides long. And for the folks that haven't, we're going to go kind of high level on this, and we can talk more about how you can do this in a separate session if you need it. So this is a business profile that's available on any Google search. If you're looking and if you search for your business name right now, there's a good chance that your information will show up as highlighted in the corner that's surrounded in blue right now. So in this case, I'm searching for Sweeten, and the Sweeten information shows up on the Google search results. It would also show up in Google Maps. So if a searcher types the name of a business, that information on the side of the search results page can include photos, a map, an address, phone numbers, hours of operation, and reviews. Once you set up Google My Business, you need to complete the verification process, and you need to edit your content to make sure that it's relevant for your users. This is where you go to google.com/business and claim your profile. I'm not going to go through how to claim your profile today, but because we talked about it yesterday, it's very simple. However, when you go to google.com/business, you'll simply search for your business. And if you find it, great. If you've already claimed it, you're set. But if you haven't claimed it, you can go through the few simple steps right in that page to get your business claimed and online. And why should we do this? Well, first, if you've made a large purchase in the last year, a car, TV, new phone, really anything, I'm willing to bet that not many of us visited the store first or talked to a clerk. Most of us start by researching online. In fact, 87% of smartphone owners search first on their devices in a moment of need. And for many people who do online searches about local businesses, studies do show that 30% of all mobile searches are related to location, the mythical near me search. So restaurants near me, electricians near me, accountant services near me. You don't even need to type near me anymore because Google automatically assumes that you're looking for information near you, and the Google My Business search results are optimized for location. And so as we look through how this works in our lives, in step one, we also have a lot of information about products or services. And so your online presence is going to be the first experience in your business. You anticipate the micro moments as in step one, and think about what are people going to be looking for the instant they think of the need my business serves. And then you think about how that person might search for you on Google, what search words or phrases that they might type in on their screen, and then work on getting your business to appear in those results. We're going to talk through that in the next section. Finally, we'll hope that you get the click, and that'll lead to your website or possibly a lead, or even better, a sale. These screenshots show how businesses could appear on Google for a searcher nearby. Google My Business works across all platforms and devices. Mobile is incredibly important. It's been steadily on the rise, and more than half of all web traffic, about 650 billion searches, are coming from mobile devices. And if your website in particular is not mobile responsive, you may be missing out on that search traffic. It's really important to show up correctly and well on mobile devices as well as desktop computers. Again, in order to get going on Google My Business, just go to google.com/business. In order to make the most of your business profile on Google, you need to make your profile as relevant as possible by including all of the information that you see available on that profile. Regularly adding photos of your products, your interior service providers, services that you have if you're a home-based business and you serve people at their locations, or if you have a really cool space, hiring a trusted photographer via Google to take a 3D tour of your business can be really, really helpful. Posts is a new feature of Google My Business that allows merchants to post live updates directly on their business profile. Posts allow you to communicate in new ways with potential customers, to share information, encourage reservations, promote an email newsletter, buy products, and much, much more. Posts appear in your business profile on Google Search and on Google Maps. Create posts from Google My Business or the web dashboard, and you can see how posts are influencing potential customers by reviewing your post activity from the Google My Business Insights dashboard. Google My Business allows you to chat directly with customers who find your business profile on Google Search via the messaging feature, and you can respond to customers and help answer their questions, tell your business's story, or in reviews, your side of the story, and attract more people to your location. To turn on messaging with customers, you can sign into Google My Business and look for the messaging button in the home menu. Once your business profile is verified, you're going to have the option to read and respond to reviews about your business published on Google. Business owners often ask for advice from me about negative reviews. Usually, how can we remove them? Google won't remove a review unless it specifically violates a content policy. Instead, I would encourage you simply to respond to those reviews. Now, especially if it's a negative review and you feel like you're being attacked, my guidance to you is this: do not attack back. Diffuse and move on. You want to acknowledge the reviewer, ask them to take it offline, and then once you've solved their issue, ask them if they wouldn't mind changing their review of you. And I will say that especially on reviews, it's more trustworthy to have a few less than stellar results that are answered in a stellar way than it is simply to have a bunch of potentially concerning 5-star reviews that just show up. So if you just see a bunch of 5-star reviews, it's hard to have any context behind that. But if you see, for example, a 3-star review with a legitimate concern and that business owner has responded appropriately and the person responds back, "Thank you," that's a wonderful testament to how easy your business is to work with. Your job inside of managing your reviews is to thank people that give great reviews and to engage with and diffuse folks that give you negative reviews. Deleting them isn't an option, but that's your option to show how well you serve customers. It's a really, really powerful tool, and I encourage you to embrace it wholeheartedly. In this example, Honest Soul Yoga relies on the web to get the word out to would-be yogis. For us, she says, it comes down to being searchable, sharing reviews that reflect who we really are, and providing clear directions to our location. Those are what bring people to our front door. To complete with larger studios, Honest Soul Yoga turned to Google Analytics to better understand their customers and fine-tune their marketing. It really allows us to curate the Honest Soul experience for them. They know we're the right fit before we ever step into the studio. Internally, they use G Suite tools such as Gmail, Docs, and Drive to collaborate from anywhere and stay on top of their business. Today, nothing is too great a stretch for Honest Soul Yoga. 70% of customers continue to find them online, and their entire marketing budget is now committed to digital marketing. They have tripled the size of their studio to 3,600 square feet and expanded to include a 500 square foot retail space. They employ 30 people, over half of whom are veterans and military spouses, and plan to open a second studio later this year. So, talked about Google My Business and how we're going to help you get found online on Google Search and Maps. Now is where the rubber meets the road. Let's share how you can build and optimize your business's digital marketing to help you get found by searchers at those micro moments. Start by asking yourself, why are you even doing marketing? What are your goals? Simply having a brochure website isn't going to do anything for your business. And if your goal is to simply get more visitors to your business, what matters is what they do on the website, not that they've visited. So think about your online presence as a tool that can help you achieve your business goals. The goals for your business might vary. Some examples might be to build your brand and recognition so that you can generate sales, to generate leads if you're a business-to-business business or a business that serves other businesses, to make sales if you're a direct-to-consumer or B2B or B2C business, to re-engage existing customers, attract employees, and much more. After you know why you want a website and marketing, then you need to focus on who your ideal audience is. This is where selecting a marketing persona, or maybe 2 or 3 personas for the different kinds of companies that work with you or people, is going to be incredibly helpful. You want to identify and focus on the absolute best customers you have. You wish you could get 5 more of this month or even this year. Identify and think about what makes that person tick. What are they interested in? What are their concerns? What are their needs? What leads them to a purchase decision with you? And probably most importantly, what are they going to search on Google to find you? Your job is to have as much content that matches those specific search queries and that is as helpful as possible to that person in achieving a purchase decision. And then you need to figure out how to reach them. So are you going to connect with them on social media? Are you going to engage with them on email? Are they going to go to your website? Are they going to check out your YouTube channel? The possibilities are quite expansive. But your goal is to focus on the best options to engage them, to focus on the best bang for your buck, to reach and connect and convert those customers. Finally, you also want to focus on measuring success. I have an entire seminar on measurement that we can do at some other point, but measurement is the winning tool in making sure that your marketing is continually improving. You can't improve what you don't measure. A swimming coach is in the job of measuring a swimmer's or an athlete's performance and then giving them tips to improve. If you measure your conversions, your leads, your sales, your visits, and identify ways that you can improve those metrics, you're going to continue to improve day after day, year after year, and throughout the course of your business's lifetime. So, SEO could be an entire separate presentation, but the art of search engine optimization, the art of helping you rank better on search engines, is something that you can Google and find a ton of information on. Here's a few specific tips to building your website that can help you get ranked better on Google. First, organization matters. It not only helps your human visitors, but it helps Google understand the content on your website. Your content should be easy to find. It should be very easy to connect with and helpful. And it should be in the expected format. You should have about us on your website. You should have services if you're a business. You should have products if you sell directly to consumers. You should have all of the things that people expect, and those should be as easy as possible to find. You should have original content. The information on your website should be useful, information-rich, clear, and accurate. Include keywords or phrases that people would type to find your pages, and make sure that your site actually includes those words and helps them solve the issue that they're raising when they search. Always lead with your most important information. If your goal is to get people to call your business, keep your phone number prominent. Bulleted lists can help make text more readable. And while there's no rule of thumb, the more frequently you update your website, the more likely it will be to appear in search engine results. Not to say you have to post every day, but consistency and recency is a ranking factor for Google search results. I should step back for a second here and just note that Google has more than 200 signals that it looks for inside of its algorithms. And those algorithms might take into account Of course, recency, proximity, or how close that person is to your location. And so having location data and a Google My Business profile is very important. Relevancy, so how close that search is, or how close the content on your website is to the content of that search, and many, many, many more things. You may have received calls from people claiming to be from Google before. Google in general does not reach out to customers directly, and you can safely ignore anyone that offers to get you to the top of Google search results, because that is an impossible thing to guarantee. You can improve your likelihood of showing up at the top of Google search results, but if you're looking for a trusted Google partner, someone that's going to help you to grow your business that you can trust, go to google.com/partners to verify that the person that you're talking to is the real deal, or to find someone that you can trust right away. Google partners are vetted, and they need to go through a number of tests and a number of activities to prove that they are worthy of bearing the Google Partner badge. So if you go with badged organizations to help you with your business, you will not go wrong. All right, so my aside is done. Now let's talk about text links. For links, especially in navigation, do use text instead of buttons. If you do have buttons, make sure that you have relevant alt tags behind the images. Alt tags are simply what tells Google and accessibility readers what that image is. Page titles and descriptions. Ensure that the title tags and alt attributes are descriptive, specific, and accurate. As a general rule of thumb, your title should be, your meta title should be less than 70 characters or so, and your description should be less than about 150 characters. Google will automatically just cut off anything that goes beyond that. So it's not going to hurt you to have longer descriptions, but it's absolutely not going to help you either. So you may as well be as succinct and descriptive as possible in the space that's allotted. In this case, on the page, the title of Stasia's Bakery, as identified in the right, is Stasia's Bakery, the Ultimate Celebration Cakes, stasiasbakery.com. The description is listed underneath. We ship everywhere. Call us today. So I'd like that description to be a little bit more information, or to include a little bit more information about content. Perhaps what's included in the description on the right: Stasia's Bakery is a family-owned business offering the finest cakes and desserts, so on and so forth. So focus on making sure that you're as searchable as possible. I should note, titles and descriptions don't directly help your search engine rankings, but they do increase the likelihood that your content will get clicked, because you're essentially dressing up that link so that it's as welcoming and informative and helpful as possible for visitors. You do want to optimize load time on your website. Through that, one of the biggest things you can do is by optimizing your imagery. You can have a lot of weight on your website if you load very large images on your site. Make sure as you look at images that you keep them clear and focused, and that they should look right in the overall site design. It's almost always better to use real photos rather than stock art. And before you add an image to your site, make sure that you're allowed to do so. Don't just go to Google Image Search and grab images and put them on your site. You need to make sure that you're grabbing images that you have access and licenses to. A great site that I like using for royalty-free images and Creative Commons licensed imagery is PhotoPin. But if you also search for Creative Commons free imagery, there's going to be a bunch of image sites that show up. Or, of course, it's best always to just shoot your own pictures. We all have multi-megapixel cameras in our pockets right now. Use your phone, gloss it up a little bit, make sure that you optimize it for the web. There's lots of applications on both mobile and computer that can help compress images, identify them, and make them look even better. One thing about file size of images is that it's tempting to have the highest quality image possible, but there is a trade-off that it takes longer for a web page to load a bigger file. File size is measured in bytes. A kilobyte is 1,000 bytes, and that's pretty small. depending on the speed of a visitor's internet connection, it's not a problem usually to load an image that's up to maybe 100 kilobytes or more. A megabyte is 1,000 kilobytes, and at this size, it can start to slow down your website. If you use a digital camera or even a phone, your image size might be several megabytes. In this case, you should definitely use software of some sort to shrink it down. The second image size refers to the dimensions. For the web, dimensions are measured in pixels. Without getting too techie, you can make an image smaller, but if you make the dimensions bigger, an image will appear blurry or pixelated on the web page. So when you're looking for images on your website, you need to use a few specific formats, either .jpg or JPEGs, .gif, I like GIF as the pronunciation, or PNG. JPEGs are for photos, things that have a lot of color gradients and blurs, and generally pictures of people. GIFs and PNGs are best for graphics, things that might have either animation or have a lot of hard edges. So business logos, graphics, charts, that kind of thing would be best for those formats. Other formats like EPS, PSD, other things cannot be used on websites. And again, there's easy software that can help you manage those imagery or that imagery. Google Search Console is going to help you monitor and maintain your website's presence in Google's organic search results. Google Search Console at google.com/webmasters is the way that you can see how Google and therefore the world sees your website. Search Console reports can tell you which queries caused your site to appear in search results, which websites link to your site, if your site works well on mobile devices, and much, much more. Again, Search Console is free, and you can find it at google.com/webmasters. Content is king on the web. Content marketing is all about speaking to your products and customers with what your products can provide to them. Content can include any mix of text, images, or videos. Each business and industry has different needs when it comes to content. For instance, a realtor might use videos and images to get more face time with their prospective clients and to show that they know the area where they sell homes. On the other hand, an attorney might use more text with fewer images to discuss the types of services they provide in greater detail. A good mix of content will pique your visitors' interest and inform them about your company and engage them with products and services. I really like doing things that have been proven to work. So look at your favorite news outlet and see the kind of articles that they're publishing. If you have frequently asked questions on your website, and they really are frequently asked, answer those questions on your website in greater detail via posts. You might want to consider top 10 lists or how-to articles. Look at the kind of things, again, that are capturing your attention as you're browsing the web and or that are likely to engage your content and your customers via formats. So you don't want to post boring things. You want to post engaging articles. If you're an accountant, everybody's thinking about tax time right now. And so, the 3 things you need to do before you file an extension for your taxes at this point, right? So that kind of content, simply posting May newsletter is not going to be helpful. So focusing on things that offer relevancy, context, and that, again, match what your customer is searching on Google is going to be very helpful in helping you show up better. If you want to look or find some good content bits to leverage, you can use a tool called Google Trends. Google Trends is a free web-based tool that shows the relative popularity of different keywords searched on Google over time. The data is presented on a graph on a scale of 0 to 100, with 100 presenting peak search volume. If it has enough data, Trends can show related news headlines, a forecast of search volume, related popular searches, and rising searches experiencing significant growth. You can use this to compare the popularity of different words and phrases, determine seasonality of different searches, see where searches happen geographically, and see related searches. You can get again to Google Trends by visiting google.com/trends. Before I move away from Trends, I want to share one more thing. Make sure that you're focusing on keyword trends that are trending for the right reasons. If, for example, you have a keyword or phrase and you're searching for it and it's spiking, but it's spiking for some controversial or bad reason, you don't necessarily want to leverage into that search volume because you're swimming in dirty water, right? So focus on the good stuff. And when you search inside of Google Trends, it'll give you some other options related to your current keyword. And so focus on those and look at what's growing. In this case, this is First Stages Bakery. So she was searching for gluten-free, and we offered up vegan and vegetarian as other options. And you can see that vegan has experienced a significant search bump in the past few months. So as we look through that, we might want to add vegan options to our menu and or content about what our vegan options are and the kinds of vegan tools or things that we do. Social media marketing uses social networks to spread brand awareness and activity and to engage your leads and prospects via the tools that they're hanging out with already. Social media content should be engaging, but it also needs to be useful and drive to some sort of call to action. I give folks a recipe on what they should be including because you don't want to always just do the same thing over and over again on social networks. You need to mix it up a little bit. And so if you're looking for a good rule of thumb, my recommendation is that your content should be about 50% of the time engaging, or so engage for 50% of the time. That's with helpful and informative posts, with quotes of the day, with pictures of your customers, with funny jokes, with whatever you might have to capture your customers' attention. So 50% engage. The next 30% should be inform. Show them deeper discussions into what you do or why you do what you do. This is where you show your expertise, where you show content and helpful bits that as an expert in your field, you know, and that your customer would appreciate knowing. So this is how to do specific things. It's what you need to know when making a decision. And then the last 20% of your time should be spent closing those content bits to encourage people to convert to you. So 50% engage, 30% inform, 20% convert. Get people to do something. I don't necessarily mean buy now. It might be subscribe to my newsletter. It might be call today. It might be stop by. It might be register for an event. But ask people to do something at least 20% of the time. And you can see how it would get confusing and or annoying if you over relied on any one of those three things. If all you did is engage, well, that's fantastic. But if you're just entertaining your customers, you never get around to having them trust you enough to take the next step. If all you do is inform, you might bore your customers, or you won't capture their attention in the first place because you haven't stood out enough. And if all you do is try to convert, well, no one likes to be sold online. We do, however, like to buy from people that we trust because we've been engaged and informed. So that's how social media works in a nutshell. And then email is the great unsung hero of social media marketing. We all know what email is when you don't like it or it doesn't retain to you or pertain to you. That's called spam. Your job is to not ever spam your customers by focusing instead on content that is helpful and useful to your customers. In order to have a great email, I would recommend that you first have a fantastic subject line. Just like keyword headlines, a subject line is what's going to capture your customer's attention. It's the difference between boring, May newsletter, and interesting, 3 things you need to know before filing an extension on your taxes. Much more action-oriented, short, concise, succinct, and gets right to the point. So a clear subject line is going to get you or get your customers to open your messages. Once they do open that message, you need to make sure that the web or that the email has A great call to action within that first screen, inside of the first view, above the fold, as they used to say. You need to have something that's available, that's a call to action that tells them what to do. You capture their attention with the subject line. You get right down to business by offering them an action, and you give them the information that they're looking for over, again, a great mobile design. If you open up an email on your phone and you have to pinch and zoom to see it, or if you have to scroll side to side, it's very frustrating. So make sure that you offer a mobile responsive design on your emails. Again, you don't want to send messages to people out willy-nilly using your Outlook. That has lots of dangers. You might get outright banned for spamming if you do that. Use a trusted tool like Constant Contact, perhaps MailChimp. I like HubSpot to send messaging, but there's all kinds of tools that you can use to send professional messages that allow you to send good-looking stuff safely and at the time and connection that your customers expect. So, of course, you want to have correct spelling and grammar. It should be custom to your brand. Have your logo and your business colors on your browser or on your email. Make sure that it matches. And as a general rule of thumb, I'm going a little bit deeper here than I would normally, but if someone, the way to know if your email marketing is working is by sending messages and measuring your response. If, for example, you send 1,000 messages or a message out to 1,000 people and 600 of those people open the message, fantastic. You have something that was very interesting. If, however, only 20 people click on something inside of that message, you have a high open rate, but a low click-through rate. A low click-through rate is probably telling you that your content either didn't deliver on the promise that was made through the headline, or that there wasn't a clear enough call to action. So either it didn't match what they were expecting, or they didn't know what to do when they got into that message. A lot of us really try to dump everything we can into an email message. And when people open emails, they think, or they ask three things. Am I going to open it now, later, or never? If they open it now, fantastic. But if they close it right away because your content isn't interesting, it's gone. If, however, they decide they're going to open it later, that's probably just a different word for never. We all get way too many messages in our emails. So you want to focus on getting people to now to open that message and then make sure it's interesting and helpful. Now, if on the flip side, you send out a message to 1,000 people and only 100 people open it, but 60 of those people click, you've probably found yourself a niche. These are people that are explicitly interested in the topic that you just sent that message on. Consider sending or setting aside those 60 people as a specific list, and then send them more of the same kinds of messages. So focus on that inside of messaging. And if you measure, you can see how this can start to be a really useful tool for engaging. The number one app on mobile devices is not, believe it or not, Google or anything else other than good old-fashioned email. And the ROI of email is generally accepted to be about 40 cents on the dollar. So don't neglect email marketing if you want to consistently engage your customers. And of course, don't forget about mobile. We've talked about mobile a few times, so I'm going to breeze through this a little bit, but you want to focus on the navigation and your home page. Your entire page should be easily clickable with a thumb, right? So your navigation should be simple. You need to have, simple nav that doesn't have 3 or 4 tiers deep. If you have to click on About Us and then click on something else and then click on something else, that doesn't work in mobile. And so keep your navigation as clear and succinct as possible. Have 4 or so options on your navigation, About Us, Contact Us, Services, or Buy, and maybe something else. But make sure that you're very clear inside of that navigation and you get right to what you're asking for. You want to make it easy to search the site. When people visit on mobile devices, more often than not, they just want to find a search button and search for what they're looking for instead of playing Where's Waldo on your website. Make it easy to complete tasks, especially filling out forms. Don't ask for too much text. We all know how terrible it is to have to type with two thumbs. So don't make people type more than they have to. Instead, focus on forms with radio buttons, or only ask the absolutely necessary content questions and then ask for additional information later. If you open up a form on your phone and you see that it's 15 questions long and 3 of those questions are fill in the blanks, fill in the blank questions seem like they're 5 questions to every one other. So it's just impossible. And so you go away and you don't do it. So focus on making it simple, clear, and easy. And then, of course, optimize for usability. Research shows that with mobile design, it's best to take an all or nothing approach. Build your website to optimize all pages for mobile devices, not just a few pages. And as well, try it on a mobile device. Try it on an Android, try it on an iPhone, try it on a tablet, try it on a couple different kinds of phones to make sure that it shows up well on your website. And if you want to check and see how fast your website is, this is a great tool. Go to testmysite.thinkwithgoogle.com. This is going to show you how well your website performs over a mobile network. For every second delay in mobile page load, conversions can fall by an average about 10% after 3 seconds. People will give you about 3 seconds worth of wait. So the testmysite.thinkwithgoogle.com tool, you type in your website address, and then it'll tell you, in this case, your page speed is 4 seconds, and you're losing traffic. And then it'll give you some recommended fixes. If it looks like you have a lot of big pictures, it'll tell you shrink some pictures. If you've got a lot of JavaScript and gunk on your website, if you have a drag and drop website builder that uses JavaScript to place all of those elements, it's probably slowing your website down. So it'll tell you what you need to do to fix it. Now, it might not tell you how, and that's why you want to work with your partner or your web development partner or yourself on Google to figure out how to do that. But this is a really handy tool for helping you speed things up. And then this is an example of how social media and content is working. Google helped Molly grow her blog from something only her mom and her mom-in-law read to an income-generating and award-winning destination. Google Analytics helped provide valuable insights on her audience and web traffic. Most of my business, she says, comes from working with sponsors. And potential sponsors always want to know if my audience aligns with their customer base. With Google Analytics, we can see whether or not my blog is a good fit. Her social channels, including YouTube, bring her experiences, recipes, and personality home to more than 300,000 followers. Gmail lets her communicate with fellow bloggers, advertisers, sponsors, and other business contacts, and ads allow her to sell space on her site as an additional source of revenue. And so let's talk about how to reach customers with online advertising. As I mentioned before, you can grow and enable your web presence online with social media marketing, with a great website, by optimizing your content to get you found on search engines. But if you need to get to your customers at exactly the right time and target exactly the right people and know that they're going to convert, it's pretty hard to beat advertising or search engine marketing as a great traffic driver. Of course, we all see ads and we know what these are. So advertisements can appear at the top and the bottom of the page and above and below the organic search results. The images at the top are shopping ads promoting products sold by online retailers, and text ads sometimes appear below. Ads are paid placements. Advertisers compete against each other, bidding in a real-time auction for the opportunity to show their ads on the search results page. Let's think back to the micro moments, the time maybe you needed to replace that birthday cake because your puppy ate it. A local bakery could display an ad when you search. That's one reason online advertising is so effective. Ads are not randomly broadcast. They're shown to potential customers who are already looking for you. It's important to note that advertisers are not charged simply when ads appear. They're only charged when searchers click on an ad. That's why advertising is called pay per click or cost per click. Ads can also display on partner websites, collectively known as the Google Display Network. This is where you search for something, perhaps on Amazon, and that thing that you searched for magically starts showing up on a lot of other websites that you visit. The display network includes millions of websites, including Google websites like Gmail and YouTube. The display network helps advertisers show ads after a Google search when people are consuming relevant content. Ads are displayed when it makes sense based on criteria like the content of the page or the demographic information of usual visitors to that page. The display network provides access to a wide range of customers and allows advertisers to showcase products and services at different points in the buying cycle. Before advertising, it's really important to define your goals. This usually isn't a problem for businesses because once real money's on the table, you're going to focus. But make sure that you define those goals, make them, smart, make them super specific, measurable, activity-based or achievable, realistic, time-based, and make sure that they do something that actually relates to your business. You don't want to have a Google ad that's going to go to your homepage if what you're really trying to do is to get them to buy. You want to go to the buy page for that product or service. And so make sure that your search result matches as closely as possible the actual intention of what you're trying to reach. So make sure that you connect up and that you go from that. So go right to a landing page for that deal. If you don't have a goal, you have no way to measure whether or not your investment is helping your business. One thing about advertising with Google is that you can use cost per click bidding. That means you won't pay to show an ad only if a person takes the next step and clicks to learn more. When you create your ad, think about how you can make yours stand out. Include compelling details and reasons for people to choose your ad over another business. Read other ads, try to make yours better. Include a call to action, helping people understand what they should do next. Once you write that compelling ad, take advantage of another feature of online advertising, controlling where ads are displayed. For example, if you have a product that can ship anywhere in the US, you might advertise to the entire country. On the other hand, if your product is very heavy and you only offer local delivery, you might restrict the ads to the area where you're willing to travel. We'll finish where we began, with goals. Once you have the pieces put together to present a compelling advertisement targeting the audience you want to make sure it is working. When advertising with Google, you have access to reports that show you how people interact with your advertisements. Connecting your advertising account to software like Google Analytics can help you see a more complete picture of the effectiveness of your ad campaigns. You can learn more about ads at ads.google.com. I mentioned Google Analytics just now, and this is an incredibly important tool to understand the strengths and weaknesses of your website. Google Analytics can give you analytics data and reports to show you what people are doing on your site. Analytics includes a huge suite of customizable reports that answers questions about the effectiveness of your site, like what people are reading and viewing, how much time people spend on your site, if it's an e-commerce site, where people might be not deciding not to purchase or abandoning their shopping carts. And if you advertise with Google, that data integrates into the analytics reports so you can measure the effectiveness of your ad campaigns all the way to the site of the purchase. To sum up, Google Analytics reports can help you make smart decisions about your site design, content, and functionality. To learn more, go to marketingplatform.google.com. That wraps up the 3 big things you can do to help market your business online: Google My Business, a search-friendly, mobile-friendly website, and advertising. Once you've put these steps into motion, you might want to check out other tools Google uses or offers to market your business online. And I've highlighted a few of those through this workshop. To wrap up again, we covered these 3 things. You can reach local customers with Google My Business. This is how you show up in Google Search and in Google Maps for a local search. To create or claim your free business profile, go to google.com/business. We also shared how to reach everyone on all devices. We talked about things like how to optimize your experience for search engines, how to optimize for SEO, how to make sure that your content is searchable and relevant to the people that you're searching or that you want to search for you through great content, how to optimize your images, how to optimize social media with the 50-30-20 rule of engage, inform, convert, how to Send out great emails and avoid spamming, and make sure that people are actually clicking on those emails and identifying niches inside of your business. And then finally, we talked about how to reach customers with online advertising to make sure that your messages go to the right people at the right time in the right place to drive real business for your business. Of course, you still need that account, and we talked about that before, so I want to get right to this screen, and this is the one that you're probably going to want to screenshot. This is all of the tools and resources that we talked through during this talk. So this is what's available here. I'm going to skip back over to the other screen to see if we do have any questions. Can I repeat the photo site? Yes, absolutely. The photo site was photopin.com. So if you go to photopin.com, that would be an easy way to make sure that you're getting photos that you're authorized to use. You don't just want to go through to the Google My Business listing in order to get your content online. You need to make sure that you're hitting just the right stuff. And so focus on great content, great imagery that you own and license. Of course, it's always better to shoot your own pictures. Any other questions? I would love to take those. If you do have specific questions, you can send me an email to dave@busyweb.com as highlighted on this note right here. If you have specific Google My Business questions or help that you need, go ahead and reach out to me and I will help you through my Google team. Don't forget to register your Google My Business profile. And of course, I'm going to leave this open and I'm just going to kind of vamp a couple minutes to make sure that I have any other questions. So this is your chance to play Stump Dave. Go ahead and ask me anything that you have about social media marketing, SEO, content searches, user-centered design, how you can get more feedback or clicks on any social network. Jessica, thank you so very much for hanging out with me today, and thanks for the note. And thanks to everybody at the Oshkosh Chamber and in Oshkosh. It was so great to meet many of you yesterday, and I hope that this helped you grow your business online. Thank you all so much. I'll wait one more minute, but if not, I'm going to close this down at about 9:53. So speak now, chat now, or forever hold your peace. Perfect. Well, thank you all so much. For one last time, I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to stop screen sharing. Hey, everybody. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me. Again, my name is Dave with Google, and I hope that I hope that this program helped you to get your business online so that you can keep on growing with Google. Thanks and have a fantastic day, and stay safe and warm out there. Bye, everybody.